let's start with your first and last name. Introduce yourself to us and tell me how many years you've been serving on the school board here with Bob Hope School.
I'm Sheri Arnold, and I've only been on the board a little over a year now, so it's been a fairly new experience for me.
So you are one of our new board members then. We have a lot of board members that have been on our board for decades. And tell us a little bit about your career, who you are, did you grow up here, how long have you lived here in our community?
I grew up in Beaumont, went to school at Forest Park High School, which isn't even there anymore, but got a great education here and went to Sam Houston State, and I've worked in several different positions until I started a firm in Beaumont for commercial real estate. And the way I met the Bob Hope Group, I sold them this building. And it was a great relationship. We got to know a lot of people, and over the years I've had a lot of success in the commercial real estate business. We're Coldwell Banker Commercial, Arnold and Associates. It's an all-female force, which I think is pretty interesting because you don't see that in commercial real estate. But we've had a very successful time, and I've had a great career, and I'm enjoying working on the board a lot.
So what was it that made you say yes? When it's quite a commitment to serve on the board. There's a lot of time, a lot of volunteer hours and thought and effort and research that has to go into it.
I really got to know Dr. Lopez and some of the staff when they were looking at the building several years ago. And their enthusiasm and the stories that they told about some of the kids, I was like, really? I don't hear that, I just don't know much about it. My kids are grown, and I just don't hear much about school anymore. So I really enjoyed it, and when Dr. Lopez asked me if I would consider joining the board, I said I would. I've never been on a school board before. This is my first time anywhere. I'm on multiple boards of different business organizations, but never on a school board. So this is a real change of pace, and I enjoy it.
So what has been maybe one of the most rewarding things that you've been able to witness or take part in as a board member in the past year?
Well, I think my perspective is very business-like. I'm more attuned to the business side of things. And I look at this and I think the growth that we've made, the difference that we've been making in people's lives, it's incredible. And there's nothing you can do any better than help the future. I mean, this is the future. The kids, they're going to be taking care of us when we're in the nursing home. So we want them to be well trained and educated.
And what has it been like working with our other school board members? Like we mentioned, some of them have been here for decades, since, before we were even a charter school.
Right. It was really interesting when I first got on. Everybody, of course, is very polite and nice, and I felt a little out of it because I didn't understand everything that was going on. So I had to really double up and read more, not just what we talked about in the board meetings, but read more about charter schools, understand more so that I could contribute to the conversations when we have them at our meetings. And I've become good friends with a lot of them, and I feel comfortable now. We're very comfortable openly speaking about things that we care about, and I don't think anybody has an agenda in it other than to help the kids.
And we've heard a little bit about your career in real estate, but what do you like to do in your free time?
Do I have any?
Do you have a family here that you
sure. Very interesting. One daughter left, she's like 45 now, and she left right after high school and went to A&M, and from A&M went on to work with this company. She's lived overseas, she's lived in mostly the East Coast, she's lived all over the place. And about 3 years ago, when she was home for Christmas, she and her husband said, "We're moving here." And I was like, "Don't tell me that if you don't mean it, They said, "No, we want to move to a smaller town. As long as we have internet and access to an international airport, we're fine." So they moved here, and my youngest daughter works with me, and her husband works in Beaumont, and they have a first grandbaby. So I've got a little grandbaby that's 7 months old. So yeah, I have my mother who's still here, my two brothers and their family. So we're very much based here, and oddly, everybody lives in Beaumont. It's like I guess we don't leave the city limits. I don't know, but it's interesting to us, and you're never at a loss for having support and family, and that's so important to everyone.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.